Alrighty guys, I'm over here at this, y'all remember this 300, the one we doing the transmission, that is the nag 1 transmission over there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I had the transmission in. Now, I was getting ready to do the water pump, I got the cover off. When I removed the cover, this is what I saw, guys, and I wanted to bring you guys along for the ride so we can discuss some things on why it's imperative or very important that you stay on top of this stuff. Number one, now the likelihood, this belt pretty thick and it lasts a long time, but I still have my recommendations down to around 100,000 miles. Okay, and when you do that, go ahead and do the water pump. Now, as you can see, God, I can't remember how many miles this car has on it. I know it's over 100, and I have the battery disconnected, so I can't turn the key on. But yes, you can see this water pump has been leaking. However, not the kind of leak that would generate drips on the ground. So technically, that is what a customer go by. Okay, they don't go into panic mode till they see fluid on the ground. It would take a while for that to liquidize, I guess that's a word, and make it to the ground. This is what we call seeping. Some people will call seeping. Okay, yes, the water pump is seeping, not really leaking, but this is a perfect time to replace it. You know, act proactive. You don't want it to fail. You know, water pump, the coolant, water pump built with bearings and things like that, and the coolant is designed to protect those bearings as well as the cooling system. So if all this stuff, air is introduced into this stuff, you can have problems. I'm gonna tell you another problem that this can lead to, because this has happened to me. Water pump leak, it would eventually end up on the belt, guys. And I'm gonna tell you something, the belt would slip and jump. Depending on when the starter rotate the crank and start the engine, the belt may jump. And guys, that is one hard thing to diagnose. I mean, I have graphs the whole time what to look for as far as timing being off. Even one toot, guy, you're gonna have low, you're gonna have no power or nothing, but you may not set a code, or you may set a lean condition code or a rich condition code. But the one I had, it all boiled right back down to this. When I removed this cover, I saw coolant residue all over, and the belt was saturated. But again, the liquid hasn't made it to the ground yet. Now what happens is, like I say, the belt will eventually jump. One toot, that's all it takes. With one toot off, guys, timing, not sure if it'll be retarded or advanced, but you will feel it in your gas pedal. All right, you will have low power, and in extreme cases, no, in most cases, you will have low engine vacuum. So if you're a mechanic trying to figure out why your vacuum is low, let's just say you have 14 inches of vacuum by way of reading your scan tools map sensor. Okay, I don't know too many guys have a vacuum gauge, and where do you find vacuum ports at anymore? They done took away all the intake manifold. There's some back there. All right, their goal is to find out how much vacuum the engine is producing. This is a big old vacuum pump. But anyway, if it's right around at 14, 15 inches of vacuum, yes guys, timing has been compromised. That's what gave it away. That's what led me to on that problem child I had. Sure enough, when I pulled the cover, I saw that, and I brought timing marks off. This one was up here. It was off. So I was proud of myself as far as that goes. But I was more concerned with what symptoms it would leave. Okay, like I say, in some cases, no fault codes. A lot of cases, no fault codes. That's why guys nowadays are spoiled. Okay, they go into panic mode when they have a car that's drivability, poor drivability, and there's no fault code. They like, no, what do I do now? This is still a gasoline combustion engine. Okay, there are certain things required for it to function right. The basics of the engine is still the same. What they have done with the computer and added sensors and things like that is what differentiate past gasoline combustion engine to present. Yes, don't get me wrong, they're better, but a lot of things are monitored, a lot of things are not monitored. For instance, fuel pressure is not monitored. The computer have no way to know that that fuel pump is not doing its job. It will try to make calculation. It will try to compensate for the exhaust in the, or the oxygen in the exhaust. You know, the O2 sensor would tell that. So it would try to make compensation based off of that. But for the most part, the computer have no idea fuel pressure low. The computer have no idea that the physical timing is off. Okay, like I say, it's smart enough to try to compensate for problems. Okay, but at the end of the day, you the mechanic have to find the problem. Okay, don't panic. There's no need to panic because you don't have a check engine light. Just go back to the basics. I even have a hard time going back to basics. You can be so advanced, guys, to where sometimes you would disregard the basics, and all along the basics is where you should have went to begin with. In my opinion, you should start with the basics. Okay, now granted, a fault code will put you in the right direction. It is not a rubber stamp to replacing a part associated with the fault code name. For instance, ignition coil, what is this? One, two, ignition coil 2, circuit open. That does not mean simply replace the coil. Remember pay attention to what the code says, circuit open. A wire right here could be cut. In other words, I can cut this right there. Ignition coil number 2, circuit open. The average mechanic see that, well, need a coil. Bzzz, take that off, pop in a new one, still got the same code. So be careful, guys. I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm just saying, pay close attention to the name of the fault code and the circuitry that's behind the parts associated with the fault code. Okay, but let me stay focused on this. Yes, I'm simply about to replace. No big deal, guys. No big deal at all. Now, what I want to talk about is what you should replace during a timing belt replacement. Y'all see that? Y'all see that bearing right there? What is missing inside of that bearing? I know y'all saw that. I'm gonna bring the camera right back down to that. All right, take a closer look. This is the water pump right here. Now, the water pump, you should also replace the water pump during a timing belt replacement. But look at that bearing or that pulley. That's an idler pulley, people. And all the bearings inside that used to live inside the pulley is now inside of the timing belt cover. Okay, that's because it has worn out and came apart. Now, the weird thing about this car is the customer just had the timing belt replaced. Obviously, that's the timing mark right there on the crank. Now, the timing mark up here on the camshaft go between this slot right here and this slot right here. Now, a true indication of a car being out of time is probably vacuum. You will have extremely low vacuum, between 13, 14, and 15 inches of vacuum. But that right there is a true sign that you might even hear some noise if this come apart. This idler pulley has come apart. Now, what I want to talk about is things you should replace during a timing belt replacement job. And that is the water pump and the idler pulley. Anything that rotates, anything that turns as a result of the timing belt turning should be replaced, especially if it is ball bearing type. If it's a bearing type pulley, it should be replaced along with the timing belt. Make that a habit of replacing all those pulleys inside of there, okay? Do not just replace the timing belt, all right? I want to give y'all that warning, man, because I hate to see this, man. So, man, thanks for watching. Comment and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next video.